Good afternoon, Super Metroid fans. My goodness, we have got an exciting one for you today. This is bottom bracket finals to book a trip to the grand finals between ShinyZeni and Ruya. This is race 2 coming at you here on Speedgaming 2. My name is the Hockey Town, and I'm joined by the legendary Oats and Goats. What's up, Oats?
What's up? What's up? How's it going, everyone? Looking forward to this game 2 versus Zeni and Ruya. Game 1, watched a little bit of that one. That's unfortunate death for Ruya, but kind of seemed like they both had some nerves going into the first game. There was a slight hiccup with the scheduling, and there was a slight delay, so sometimes I can kind of get in your mind, but I'm excited to see game 2 because at this point I think they kind of shook out some of those nerves and they're definitely ready to go. So
yeah, there's definitely a mountain for Ruya to climb here, but if any runner can do it, it's him. A tragic end in that first race, but just got to bounce back, dust yourself off, get back in the saddle. And our runners have done that. They're starting on Series Station, and I echo Eddie and Prof Oats when I say both of these runners are just incredible Series runners.
yeah, I mean, the early games are both incredibly good. This game has definitely evolved, especially in the first 5 minutes in the last couple of years with new runners like Ruya, Drewski, even Zeni starting to adapt a lot of the new tough technical strats. And then that's starting to kind of disperse beyond the first 5 minutes to where this game is still advancing even after all these years. So it's definitely exciting to see.
I agree wholeheartedly, Oats. You know, I've been watching this game for a long time too, and to see all these bold new strategies just keeps it fresh, keeps it exciting. But yeah, these runners are trying to book a trip to the grand finals to face off against you. So
yeah, I definitely have an interest in seeing how they're playing. Both incredibly good times. It's pretty much just neck and neck. Wow, same RNG, kind of the same Thor times. Both just excellent players.
Oh, look at this!
Wow, it is. Yeah, this is just neck and neck at this point. They might have even had the same exact. Wow. Wow. To see 147 against the runner is incredible, and then to see 247s and just 0.02 apart, which is a lot of that's just RNG because series ticks in 1s and 2s, so you don't know if you're gonna get a 1 or a 2. So at that point, they're essentially just tied. It was the exact same series time essentially. So incredible.
Oh, hold on to your behinds, Speed Gaming too, because if that's indicative of how the rest of this race is going to go, holy smokes, we are definitely in for a treat. But
yeah, that might have been the first double 47 ever in any of these. So incredible start from both runners already. Like I said, hopefully their nerves are gone, and I think that's probably a good indication that the nerves are hopefully gone. But also getting a 47 like that kind of just pumps up the nerves again. You know, because you get so excited because your early game is so good. So, yeah, I was saying in the chat earlier, once you kind of have a mistake, that's when the nerves kind of just kind of go away. So it's kind of tough because either you play extremely well and you really ride out those nerves the entire race, or you kind of make that first little hiccup, realize that it's okay to make a mistake, take a deep breath, and then that definitely helps a lot. Seeing a little bit of a hiccup from Zeni, but it really doesn't matter. The first 5, 10, 15 minutes of this game, it doesn't really matter too much as long as they're not a minute apart. If they're 15 to 30 seconds apart, that's still not the end of the world because there's so much that goes on beyond past the early game. So,
yeah, you said it, Oats. Couldn't have summed it up better myself. And our runners are practically in a dead heat here as they complete kind of the boilerplate section of Super Metroid speedrunning, grabbing that morphing ball, grabbing these first missiles down here in Retro Bryn. Unlike 100%, we will not be revisiting this section whatsoever. Oh, and now we are at a dead heat here.
Yep. Just a little mistake, turnaround from Zeni, and just like that, tied up again. You know, you're gonna see a lot of back and forths early game, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter too much because Phantoon is a huge key factor. And how they execute that fight. And then beyond that, there's not as much RNG as like just Phantoon, like a blanket time loss if you get a bad pattern. But after that, it's such tight execution to where whoever plays just even a percentage more consistent, they will take a huge advantage. So.
Oh, no question about it. You want to talk about consistency. We've seen these runners tackle all of the very difficult strats that this game throws at them, the difficult RNG patterns of the bosses, and yeah, their skill is no more on display than right now with this wall jump climb here. Just incredible movement. And heading to their first mini boss fight of the game, that is Bomb Torizo. And I always like to say it, Oates, our runners would do well to avoid the decapitation animation, which does save time in that fight.
Yes. So in the fight, it basically just comes down to if you get enough of a missile spread. You kind of need missiles to be dispersed. Yeah, a little bit left, a little bit right, a little bit down, a little bit up, whatever. Any direction that you'd please. Basically, so you can grab some, save some for later, and grab some more, finish the fight without decapitating Bomb Torizo. So hopefully they both get good RNG, and hopefully they stay pretty tight going into Brinstar. Looks good from both players, a good spread, and then they both are going to end up with 2. They should have just enough leaving. If you have full health leaving, you do get all missiles, so you can kind of just scoop up a couple on the bottom left there as you jump through the door, and then that makes the Terminator and the Pirate Shaft a little bit easier.
For sure. We did see kind of like a major blunder by Zeni, but a great recovery in that Terminator section. Did have to farm using that Kago. But would be incredibly surprised to see it twice. I know Zeni's going to be cleaning that up.
Yeah, I can't imagine he'd make the same mistake twice. First game is for the little mistakes and the little nerves to go away. Unfortunately, Ruya didn't get a drop there. That's kind of a low chance for that to happen, but it did happen. But he did get lucky from the Pirates. You have enough. You want to enter Green Brinstar with at least 1 or 2 missiles, 2 ideal, so you can do a faster fight on the Gamers here. Or a faster strat, sorry, not a fight. It's not too much of a battle against the Gamers, but yeah.
A pea shooter shot should do just fine, but
yeah,
like Oates said, our runners do need 5 missiles in order to open that pink door to execute the first major sequence break of the game, the early Supers Mock Ball. You see that farming strategy guaranteeing the missile drops for both runners.
Zeni, so with that angle down shot, it can be pretty tight. And I'm surprised more runners don't fail this, especially in races. It's a very tight shot, and you have to press forward and shoot again. That kind of angles the missile slightly different. It gives it a different trajectory towards the door when you're pressing forward. So it can be pretty tight. He did miss one, but it's still just a little bit of a mistake to where Ruya's only about 4 seconds ahead right now. Not a big deal. But
4 seconds is, contrary to popular belief, it is not an eternity in any percent. It can be easily made up due to just minor movement mistakes and the opponent nailing them. But runners are going to be heading into Big Pink now on their way to Red Tower. We have seen a lot of missed hero shots outs in this tournament in the Red Tower.
Oh, yes, I believe there was an issue earlier with Ruya, just kind of tightening it up again. Hopefully we don't see that. I think both runners are both so they're just veterans of the category and in the game in general, to where, yeah, it's okay to have some mistakes and missteps here and there, but I don't think we're going to see a lot of those little blunders that we saw in the first game. They probably kind of iron those out with the nerves and everything, and now it's kind of down to business at this point.
Definitely getting down to business as they make their way through the Green Hills zone. Resources for both runners are looking terrific, as they're going to be heading all the way back to the surface of Zebes to then cross the West Ocean on their way to the wrecked ship. And that's really what separates this category, this boss order specifically, from the kind of the classic route. But we'll see who climbs the Red Tower first and makes it across the Hellway. Ruya just looking razor sharp here. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, that was perfect.
Very nice from Ruya, and Zeni just close behind. So it seems like a lot of the mistakes they had in the first game, they're just cruising through it now. So I think they got some of their confidence back. Ruya making the same mistake as last game, but this is some of this is a little bit nerve-wracking. You take one hit from one of these caterpillars, and that is so much damage dealt to you before the Phantoon fight, and then your nerves just skyrocket. So it's better for Ruya to play it safe, especially if he's not feeling completely confident there. So you definitely just don't want to take any hits.
No, for sure. Resource management, especially health management, is oh so important in this category.
Zeni,
oh, wow.
Yeah, taking that hit I was talking about, which is very scary, down to 97. I don't know if he does. You can see his face. it does get a little bit scary at this point because you can't take too many hits from Phantoon. There is some farming strats that you can do, which are very smart to learn. At least you can get a health here from one of these crabs. It doesn't look like either runner is going to do it. Maybe Zeni is actually going to grab both. Very, very smart to at least grab one because the extra power bomb is super beneficial as well.
It doesn't hurt to top it off a little bit because 97 energy going into Phantoon is super sketchy.
Ooh, very nice from Ruya. He was having difficulties with that on the first game. Fell into the water a couple times. Let's see how Zeni does and see if he can shake off some of those earlier mistakes he just made. A beautiful backup from Ruya as well, and Zeni getting the cross as well. So very good. If you saw it on Ruya's side, he didn't quite make the jump. So as long as you recognize that, you can back it up with a wall jump before you fall into the water. Huge time save, because if you fall into the water here, it's just a 10-20 second loss. It's terrible. So very they're kind of, like you said earlier, razor sharp now, so they're both playing quite well.
Have to agree with you, Odes, but that was definitely a safe play there from Zeni to farm that up. Definitely will need that health. They're actually tied. They got 17 on top of their 100. But curious what kind of pattern we're going to see. Ruya does main the one-round Phantoon, so...
Yeah, they're both very consistent at 1 rounds. Ruya, I believe when we played, he essentially just hit both 1 rounds that he had. Unfortunately, the second time, he just missed the super, but that's still essentially you get the 1 round at that point. So let's see if he sets up for the mid 1 rounds. He's going to grab those missiles, try to go for it. Unfortunately, missing it. Zeni, not even going for it this time. He did get a fast, which is very good. So a fast from Zeni. Looks like I believe it was a mid-fast from Ruya. Let's see if he can back it up. Ruya missing the super, which is unfortunate. Zeni... okay, so this is when a separation will definitely occur. Zeni having an incredibly good fight with, I believe that was a fast. Ruya, unfortunately, couldn't get the good backup, but he is going to finish the fight here. It's... yeah, quite simple. So let's see when he leaves the door. Let's just pretend it's about 11:15, and let's see when Ruya leaves, so we can see our separation here.
Yeah, looking like about 10 seconds or more here. That is quite the shift.
Yeah, about 15-second difference, which still isn't bad at all. Because all that means is if Ruya just farms 1 or 2 less times, maybe just is a little bit crisper for, even 4 or 5 minutes of the run. Just pick your point at any point in the run for 4 or 5 minutes that he's cleaner, and he's got the time back. So.
For sure, like you said earlier in the beginning of this race, there's so much that can go wrong for these runners. It's an every room sort of danger that lurks, whether it's being slow or taking too much damage or using too much ammo. Like pick your poison on mistakes can be made in any percent, I guess.
Yeah. So in terms of resources, Zeni's looking at definitely a lot better. Ruya only had 2 power bombs leaving. It looks like Zeni had 4 power bombs leaving. Power bombs, health, and supers are kind of the currency, and it's basically just the 3 key points that you're looking at when you're leaving, and then missiles for sure, or optimal attic strats. But both runners should be fine. Ruya is going to have to tank a little bit of a time loss, farming some power bombs coming up, however.
And they both had just terrific attics too. Like their movement is just dialed in right now. But like you said, it's just Ruya looking for the power bomb, not gonna get one.
Yeah, that power bomb drop there, unfortunately, is only a 4%, but it does happen. The power bomb drop percentage from the battle crabs coming up is 60%, so I assume he'll farm both.
That's right.
Or he will maybe just take a risk and farm the Beatom, which is essentially a 100% chance drop for that power bomb. So we'll see how he plays it here.
But they are going to get a slick new paint job on their armor here, picking up this gravity suit. Friction-free movement through the water. Heat reduction, I should say, protection from superheated rooms. But don't you worry, chat, if you like that burnt orange color of the Varia suit, the runners will be picking that up later.
We won't be seeing it, but it'll be underneath. It'll be the base coat.
The base coat, I love
purple,
that.
Yeah. Okay, so pretty good. I think it was around 1320-ish for Zeni, around 1340 or so for Ruya. So they're both kind of keeping the same pace that they had leaving Phantoon, give or take. Let's see how Ruya is going to handle this. Zeni obviously doesn't need to farm those battle crabs, so he's just going to take that health. I imagine he's not even going to farm any supers on the way down. 9 for both runners is a very, very excellent count to have. So hopefully Ruya knows how to farm both these fairly quickly. Just the one, so that's very good. Luckily he got the one, because there is a situation where if he gets the 40%, then he's only going to have 1 from the B-Tom. So I'm surprised he didn't do both, but it's still a very good strat to at least know, and he at least got the 1.
For sure, Oats, for sure. But if he doesn't farm the B-Tom, then I think you have to skip breaking the tube. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can skip breaking the tube, or you can skip the high jump E-Tank, a power bomb. So either one, it's kind of just preference at that point. You just have to remember to blow up the tube later, which is really hard to remember, but either way, it's fine. A couple movement mistakes from Ruya. I think one thing here is they're both excellent players. I think Ruya has an incredibly great, probably one of the better mid-late game movements of like any runner, and he is super consistent. So I'd be curious to see how this will tighten up. Obviously Zeni is also a very consistent player, but I definitely want to say how great Ruya's mid and late game is for this. So we'll see what kind of position that puts him in.
For sure, Oats, for sure. So yeah, looking good here resource-wise as our runners head down to Norfair. Kind of the one thing, one of the big things that separates this boss order from other categories is the single trip into Norfair. And shout-outs to Twinmo, Oats, for talking about this being the shopping center. Our runners are going to shop till they drop on all these movement items and beams.
Yep. They're just picking their door and their shop. I haven't heard it that way. I guess it is just the business center. I never think about it too much other than just a room name, so thank you. Both players opening that green door. It's a little bit nicer when you come back up. Yeah, just little things here and there that you'll see. Basically anything, if you're confused on why they do it, essentially it's just faster or more convenient for consistency. So Zeni having some mistakes climbing here. These are the kind of little mistakes that Ruya is definitely hoping happen, and Ruya needs to dial back in here. And basically, these are just little tiny pieces to where he can start chipping away at. So obviously Ruya doesn't know that. He's not watching constantly. I'd certainly hope not. But you just need to assume that your racer or your opponent is making these tiny mistakes.
Right, you are, Ode. So Ice Beam pickup here for Zeni. Ruya, though, not far behind. We're going to have a little bit of a high five here outside of Ice Beam. Beautiful damage boost off of that Sova. Or is it Nova? Gosh, I hope Zeni's not listening. He's gonna pull my contract if he is.
What is it, Sova? I think they're Sovas. That's what I call them. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Zeni's not listening. We're good.
Well, anyway, they're strapping themselves up with all these items, this health, this beams, movement items, speed booster, wave beam, all that stuff, to book a trip with the hardest section of the vanilla game, or I should say kind of the casual game, which is Lower Norfair. These runners going in, you're no stranger to Lower Norfair whatsoever. Like, it's just such a treacherous part of the run.
Yeah, Lower Norfair is definitely where the mid game kind of starts. It's so volatile to where any small mistake will, probably just lead to your death. And then, so you're just always kind of on edge with Lower Norfair, because not only do you need to play incredibly well, especially on like actual runs, but you also, for races, you can't make any small like movement deviation, or else that could potentially just make you take hits. Everything in Lower Norfair hits you for essentially 50. And at this point, we don't have a lot of 50s to give up. So.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Not dropping a lot of grants, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so they're going to be farming here. Oh man, really bad luck for Zeni. I think he just committed to the 2 farm, which is kind of smart. If you just commit to something, you just roll with it and then just roll with the punches. but he didn't get anything, unfortunately. Ruya having excellent drops. He doesn't even need a super. He can just farm once, leave. And he has 8 and 9 is great. He should just super both of these doors, and he should be in a much better position entering the Ridley fight. But we'll see. Sometimes the Metal Pirates can really hook you up. Generally speaking, you want about 8 supers leaving. Then if the drop luck is average, what you can expect, you should enter Ridley with 10. So.
Yeah, 10 supers would be ideal. I think Ruya, even though with just the single farm there in the Batcave, also didn't get any supers. So both runners kind of getting scammed there. But Zeni more so, heading into Lower Norfair with 5. And now we see the pause to remove the beams. That's important for later on during the Ridley fight. But now one of the hardest challenges facing these runners, which is, of course, the Lava Spark or the backup gravity jump.
Yeah, this is pretty tough, especially race setting. If you mess this up even in the slightest, it's pretty scary. Basically, just for health concerns. Zeni going for a really aggressive strat to where he tries to get his charge through the leg. He gets the setup, gets the damage boost, gets a spark. Wow. Very, very, very nice from Zeni. Actually, very impressive. That's very difficult to do. So, like we said earlier, like Hockey said, Zeni turns his beams off. Ruya does not. So. Very nice as well. Almost a little bit too far left, but excellence from both players there entering Lower Norfair. So we're going to see a X Factor fight from Zeni, and we're going to see a beam fight from Ruya. The X Factor fight is slightly faster, and it just tends to be more consistent, so we like to do it. It does come at the cost of health, though. So we'll see if both runners can pull off their respective strats, entering the worst room of the game here. Let's see how they do.
I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me right now, but Zeni is glowing on his cam.
He is glowing. Yeah, I think that's hopefully good for him. I hope that's good. It looks like Ruya. I was looking at Zeni's angelic presence, but I think Ruya missed his first attempt at the fast pillars.
I think so too. He had to back it up.
Yes, it looked like he had to back that up, which isn't too bad as long as he backs it up quick enough. But he definitely can't make any more of those types of mistakes because Zeni's really playing well right now.
Yes.
He's, yeah, I don't know if it is that glow or some sort of radiation he's putting off, but he's playing well, whatever it is.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to let that soul glow, and Zeni's definitely doing it as he enters the Wasteland. Had a terrific, series of rooms, fast pillars, worst room of the game, amphitheater, red key hunter shaft. Now looking at Metal Pirates with that double Kago strat through those elevators.
That was a lot all at once, but yes, that was exactly what just happened. Oh, okay, so you can expect 5 super missiles from these guys, 4 or 5, generally 5, but he actually got pretty hooked up there. Not too bad considering what he had leaving the farm post speed booster.
But Ruya definitely gaining here, already into Metal Pirates, and with potentially superior resources leaving, there'll be less farm time for Ruya.
Yep, so it looks like Zeni's going to be entering with 17, 8, and 4, so he can do the 4X Factory. He has good HP. Ruya's going to have 10 supers entering more than likely. Let's see if Zeni can get these strats here. He only gets the 2X, but that's kind of some RNG stuff that can happen there. So you can't really beat yourself up for that. You just got to go with it. And the 2X can be still a very fast strat. So Ruya's going to be entering with very good health, good missiles, and full supers. So let's see if Ruya can tighten this up at all.
It looks like Zeni's already got the second color change and has dumped all of his supers into Ridley, so just got to finish off here.
Yep, that is, Zeni likes to use all the supers a little bit early. Most runners tend to use it after red because then it can kind of eliminate some counting mistakes, because you kind of want to have Ridley grab you right as he hits 0. So it's very important that you keep track of that health. But as long as Zeni knows what he's doing and can keep track of the health properly, then it's no big deal. Ooh, not dead, or it was too aggressive of a pickup. Ridley is dead now. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
wow.
This puts Zeni in a weird spot because now he might need to just grab the E-Tank. I'd almost say he should just do it, unless this is all health drops, which is not. Yeah, the E-Tank, it's very smart. This puts this race so close because Ruya has 151. So this is essentially now a tied game because
oh my
unless
god.
Zeni does skip the Phantoon E-Tank, which is kind of some RNG involved in that a little bit. But let's see here now. So Ruya has really excellent resources leaving, so there should be no issue whatsoever surviving. So yeah, this race now is very interesting.
Yeah, Ruya holding on to a tenuous lead here, but that is the difference when you finish the Ridley fight with very high health. I am curious to see if Zeni is going to skip that Phantoon E-Tank. It's a really interesting wrinkle that you brought up. But oh my goodness, is this really it makes sense. We're down in Lower Norfair. The action's really heating up now.
Yep, unfortunately a missed blue suit mock ball from Ruya, but that's okay. It just makes it more exciting. Yeah, just another change up in lead here, which is okay because Ruya did gain a lot of that lead because of unfortunate some Ridley aggression, which really took a lot of Zeni's health away. Ruya was having difficulty last race with the pirates or the key hunters. It looks like this time it's no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, this is just terrific to watch. You saw our runners manipulate those key hunters, splitting the paired key hunters at the top there of the red key hunter shaft. Three musketeers, always lethal, just kind of awaiting our runners to kind of juke around, a little bit of dodge, diving, dipping. I don't remember what the fourth D is.
And just like that, Ruya's now ahead again. Ruya took an aggressive strat here to do a damage boost off the first key hunter. I think that's, well, no, the last run he didn't go for it, but I think generally he does go for this one, and I think that's why he had some confusion last time. So yeah, just like that. Now Ruya is back in the lead.
And building on that lead with that little ball boost too, leaving Lower Norfair. Oh my goodness.
Yep, it's these little things that if Ruya can get them, and then Zeni just makes slight mistakes, that's going to put Ruya vastly ahead, even in just a segment. So we'll see, but then also vice versa. So if Ruya starts making some slight mistakes, then Zeni has that opportunity to really just capitalize.
Oh, this has really been terrific. It's a shame that this tournament does have to come to an end because the action we've seen so far has been so impressive. These runners giving it their utmost, giving it their all. Now heading into Kraid's warehouse. So I'm not really sure what happened to Ruya there.
Yep, it's a pretty tight mock ball you have to do there, so it's easy to kind of just mess up, and then your fingers are in really weird positions, but that's okay. They're almost tied. Zeni is slightly ahead, very slightly ahead, but yeah, they're essentially tied here. So.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Just
so
literal frames.
We're gonna see the power of the Kraid lag reduction strats if hopefully both runners can hit the claws off screen here. You see them shooting. I assume both runners go for the damage strat here, but we'll see.
There it is.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Both runners get
Look
a
at
quick kill.
that.
Yep. Both the same lead. Here, both runners have really nice resources. Oh, now just like that, Ruya is a couple frames ahead. It's just tiny, minor little things that happen.
This is so close.
Yeah.
And look at that. I think Zeni just pulled ahead.
Yeah,
or maybe
now it became tied because Ruya lost a couple frames from a big hop. It's just such tiny little things that happen.
Gosh.
So I assume as long as they both keep playing their game here and playing well, we're going to see a lot of tiny little back and forths.
This is just incredible to watch and witness. I'm so glad you're all here, Super Metroid fans, right here on Speedgaming 2. If you're just joining us, this is Race 2 Best of 3 bottom bracket finals to book a trip to the grand finals of the SGLIVE Super Metroid Any Percent tournament. ShinyZeni versus Ruya. Zeni with a game in hand, but anything can happen as we approach the final section of the G4 bosses heading to Meridia. And Eddie and many others before him have said Meridia is where runs go to die, Oates.
Yes, Meridia is not too technically difficult in and of itself. However, in run settings, it's the last section of the game, last big section before Tourian, and everything just needs to go well. There's a couple like really large tricks that you need to hit, mainly the Phantoon fight, which can be pretty difficult to recognize the patterns quick enough to make it optimal, and then the full halfie, and then a really nice Dragon fight. So as long as those things go well, you're fine. But that's saying that's asking quite a bit, because they can be pretty tough tricks on good runs. So and in races.
No question. So Zeni setting up for this D called X Factor. A little bit of a unique setup there. Wow. Okay. Look at this from Ruya, though. Same pattern.
Yes, very, very nice from both. Ruya kind of has the bare minimum supers. It's kind of a bummer. Zeni, luckily, can skip the E-Tank here. So he is going to start pulling ahead even more. A little bit of a shaky down grab there, but let's see if he can pull this off. Yep, totally fine.
Incredible. Incredible. Yes, it's customary. I mean, Ruya, you did it. Yahtzee. Very nice grabbing that Phantoon E-Tank. But Zeni in the driver's seat right now, but Ruya hot on his heels.
Yep, it's not too much separating this players. Ruya gets the full halfie as well. Excellent. And he did pick up a pretty rare super drop, unfortunately losing the super that he got from that very rare drop from the worm, but that's okay. He got it. It's, I guess, one to give back up to ZVs, I suppose.
Now, Dragon, we've seen, can be a very challenging fight, or it can be over before the commentators even notice that it's going on, Oates. But a really nice opener there from Zeni.
Yep, very excellent. So let's see if he can finish this up here. Looks good. Looks fine. Took a little bit extra damage, but that's okay. He's going to set up for the Spark Suit here. It's nearly double frame perfect trick. Gets it, so this allows him to store a Shine Spark. Excellent super missiles and health. So Ruya's going to be finishing off the fight here. Doesn't get the second swoop, but he does finish with an excellent ending to that. So also getting the Spark Suit.
That was so fast.
Yeah, very nice from both players.
Oh my gosh, but not a super to be seen. Maybe one or two for Ruya. So not really getting hooked up by the shrimp there.
Yep, not too bad. So now it's starting to come down to very, very important key moments at this point. Zeni is kind of taking a little bit of a lead here. He could skip the Phantoon E-Tank, and he did. So he kind of got some of that time lost back from the Ridley E-Tank. Ruya hitting the door. This is probably one of the worst mistakes you can make in this segment, honestly.
Just grinds you a halt there.
Yeah, that and falling in the room that Zeni is in currently. Fingers crossed. Okay, no commentator curse, but it does just completely kill your momentum, and it does come at the cost of a lot of time. So Zeni's resources are incredible. I mean, he didn't even need to farm, but it's definitely smart to farm in a race setting, because anything, a health, a super, it's all beneficial. Ruya has excellent health and good supers. I can't imagine he'll farm more than once here.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what he does here, kind of on the verge of farming more than once. But wow, nice hookup.
Yeah, three super missiles. So now they're he has just one less than with Zeni here. So
that is just amazing. Chat pointing out too that Ruya had just the most absurd spike suit setup, just instantly getting it after defeating Dragon. But Zeni in the driver's seat for now, heading into Tourian, just lighting the world on fire with his movement. Just really looking incredible right now.
Yeah, very, very excellent end game from Zeni. Ruya's end game was pretty solid as well, but there's just tiny little things that add up. So we'll see what their G4 times are looking like. It's looking like a very nice mid-41, comfortable mid-41 pace from Zeni. So yeah, we'll see how this ends up here. So Zeni's gonna need to get a very important trick, the baby skip, and essentially Zeni's not far enough ahead to where he can miss this.
Right.
It will cost him the run if it is missed, more than likely, because it looks like he's about 25 seconds ahead currently. Which,
give or take, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of borderline. So hopefully Zeni nails all of Tourian, and or maybe to make it more exciting, hopefully he doesn't. But no commentator curse.
That's right.
I love both these runners, and yeah, we want to see him do well. So
all future and current commentary curses are null and void,
yes.
Per Oats and Goats. So you'll have to take it up with the complaint department. All complaints have to be submitted in writing. So we're starting Tourian Oats. This is it.
Yeah, so room 1 is a little bit scary sometimes if you have low resources, aka low health. But both runners have excellent health, so it shouldn't be a problem even if you get grabbed. But it can get out of control if you get grabbed, so we'll see. A good setup for Zeni to group those together. Yeah, not perfect, but excellent. 6 supers is pretty nice. I don't think he really got a super there, did he?
I think he got 1.
Oh, okay, so 20 and 8 in the room 3 is very nice. It should make him feel pretty comfortable here. Okay, yeah, 29 is great. He shouldn't have any issues with resources. Here's Ruya's room 1. Hopefully he groups. He does. Very excellent. A little bit quicker than Zeni's, 1 less, however, going into room 2. Zeni having 20 and 10, no problem whatsoever. Should be fine. And a little bit of a mistake here. Deciding to use a super in room 2. This is starting to look a little bit scary for Ruya.
Come on, Ruya. May the RNG be in your favor. 6 heading into Metroid Room 4. This is close.
So we'll see. And as this is happening, we have Zeni definitely needing to nail this trick. Ruya getting 8. He's gonna need to. I can't remember if that's bare minimum or if that's not even acceptable for this.
Be careful, Zeni.
Yep, Zeni getting it, shaking his head, but he was just a little bit close. I believe 20 and 8 is a refill situation for Ruya, unfortunately.
Oh, that's so tough.
I think, yeah, you need to missile the first door. Yeah. Ooh, Zeni almost firing a little too low there. He has one to spare, but that was borderline cutting the door and the floor in half.
Oh my gosh.
So Ruya nailing the skip as well.
Nailed that 4 jump.
Yep. So yeah, very unfortunate from Ruya. You're going to see this farm here. There's not a lot that he could have done to make this time up, because no matter what happens now at this point, he needs to rely on Zeni making a mistake.
Right.
Or Mother Brain coming to his rescue. So, we'll see.
This is just such a hard fight with this beam combination in this route. Just so many shots.
Yeah, it's 60 shots, so at shot 46 is when you're going to see catch-up. So it's very, very important that you count. You definitely just need to know when the catch-up is going to come, and then you just need to be ready for it. Okay, let's see. I think Ruya can't miss. Okay, can't miss a super, but can miss a missile or 2. Zeni seems like he's having a little bit of a tough time with Mother Brain, given some weird patterns. Hopefully should be fine. That's kind of pretty close with the French fry. But yeah, Mother Brain can be pretty aggressive and give kind of weird timings for some of these patterns on some fights.
Yeah, she's definitely not playing nice today, but I think, yeah, that's the catch-up there for Zeni. Ruya starting his fight against Mother Brain. Hopefully Mother Brain is a little bit less aggressive. But Ruya does have like an entire onion ring hit of health to work with on Zeni.
Yep. Yeah, okay,
wow.
So Zeni is past essentially the last key point that could make any difference. Did get through the catch-up phase and Rainbow Beam around 38 minutes. I imagine this is about a 50-second lead for him. For Ruya, you can see the French fries I was talking about. That's pretty scary, because sometimes you have to jump over a bomb, but then Mother Brain at the same exact time is firing a French fry into your face. So
just such a tough fight. To cap off what is an incredibly hard route to be. Look at this from Ruya.
Jeez.
Walking on air. Oh my goodness, Ruya.
Yeah, that's super scary, because if you'll just hit your head too quick on the ceiling and come down too fast, you're hitting that catch-up. It's very close, but he had the presence of mind to like hold right to kind of, since it was at an angle, to get just away from that angle. So that was very smart from Ruya. Very nicely done.
That was amazing. And through to the baby cutscene. Wow.
Yep. So here's the baby giving some life back to Samus, and with this, Zeni will be heading into Mother Brain 3. And probably into the finals by the looks of it.
Yeah, barring any unforeseen catastrophe, Zeni will be booking a trip to the grand finals, and will be facing off against my co-commentator Oats and Goats.
Yes,
my
yes,
goodness,
I've been taking notes. Yep.
Oh, what a great shooting rhythm from Zeni here. Not a single attack from Mother Brain. Oh, of course, as soon as I say that, Mother Brain gets some onion rings off, but still.
Yep. This is kind of just a tricky thing. You just kind of need to find a spot in the background for a visual cue, and you kind of just stick with that. And Mother Brain can kind of do some weird stuff with putting her head a little higher or more forward, or blocking the shots with her hands. But as long as you can recognize those, you can kind of work around it. So here we go. This is the escape. Zeni's probably, I think he has the record for the fastest escape in 100%. He grinded this endlessly. So, you know, he's definitely a master at the time trials of this game.
Right. So Zeni makes it into the Leodoc's room here. Ruya will be facing off against Mother Brain 3, trying to land those 36 Hyper Beam shots. But, yeah, for Zeni, just have to get through Leo room, spark up the climb, make it through Parlor.
Yep. Yeah, this is going to look like an incredibly good race time from Zeni here. Even a pretty dang good race time from Ruya as well. So.
Yeah, on what day is like a mid 41 not enough to beat somebody, you know?
Yeah,
like, that's crazy.
Any run like this is definitely enough. Here we go into the ship room. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty good finish for Zeni here. Wow, a 41:16, excellent race time from Zeni. He should be incredibly happy with this one here. And here comes Ruya. He is on the Leodoc's room as well. Why do they call it this? Is it because he fell or something? Or
yeah, against Wild Anaconda many tournaments ago, and it decided the race. Wild was able to pull ahead.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, what a race.
Yes, very incredible run from Zeni there. That's probably, I think that's the fastest time in the tournament as well. So excellent.
All right, one of our historians, UNH Chavo, I should say. Chavo coming through 2016 any percent tournament, so 8 years ago. My goodness. But that'll do it for this one. For bottom bracket finals, Ruya finishing with an official race time of 42:12. GG's, Ruya.
Yes, very nice. And yeah, we should be getting both runners in here for some commentary shortly.
I see him in the green room, so it's only a matter of them climbing up here, deciding to join us live. But I'm not sure of the timetable for grand finals, but we are joined now by today's winner, ShinyZeni, and today's runner-up, Ruya. GG's to you both. What a spectacular race.
Yes, I mean, it was incredible. So definitely, how do you both feel about your races? We'll talk about race one. That's it seemed like there might have been some either nerves, or maybe you were both a little bit shaken up from the delay. So how do you both feel about your race one? Obviously, there was an unfortunate death mid-run, but even leading into that, there was quite a few kind of uncharacteristic mistakes. So.
Yeah, so for me, I mean, I wasn't really nervous necessarily, but the delay definitely threw me off a bit. And I mean, that was very evident. You know, I missiled all the pirates before Brinstar, and then
Yeah, that was
just
bizarre. Yeah.
yeah. So that was I don't really know what to say about that. I was just kind of like zoning, and then I was like, what am I doing? And yeah, I mean, thankfully, I was able to handle the rest of the run. I mean, there was definitely some issues. I guess what I'll say about race 1 for me is that I played pretty well, but the bad parts were really bad. Like really, really bad. So that's how I felt about my race 1. I was trying not to look at the actual like pacing compared to Ruya too much because I didn't want that to overcomplicate my thoughts. But near the end, I pulled it up again and saw that he was practicing, and that was unfortunate. I assumed something happened in Lower Norfair, and it sounds like that's what happened.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
Ruya, how do you feel about your game 1?
Not too bad. So I think the first thing that really got me was the last room of series. I forget if it was a fast team or my mistake, but I had a pretty good pace going in there, and I came out with a 37 or something.
Yep, 37. Yeah.
But I played pretty clean up to bombs and felt good about that. And I saw what had happened to Zeni with the missiles leaving pirates, so I knew like it wasn't all over at all. And obviously, it's early in the race.
Yeah, that kind of
Um,
tightened things up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I did it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. The entertainment.
I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
I appreciate.
poor
I appreciate you
Ruya with
keeping
his
things
37
exciting.
series. I better make this awful mistake and
Mhm.
Yeah, but other than that, it seemed like there were some mode issues. I don't know if there was any nerves for you or.
Yeah, I was feeling pretty good. I'm not really sure what happened with Moat. I just dropped one of my inputs and ended up falling in when I was trying to HPJ.
Yeah, HPJ can be kind of precise. Just any little tiny tap mistake on the D-pad will definitely kind of throw you off. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You both went for
I
one
think
round, and yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I had some trouble with Phantoon in both of these races. And race 1 after Phantoon, I just kind of felt like I couldn't really get my footing. Like, I wasn't nervous or anything, but the mistakes just kind of kept piling on. And then leaving Ridley, I was in a pretty tough spot. I only had 48 health or so going into Musketeers, and I just didn't get a good manip, so the last guy was stuck in the corner.
Yeah, that can be pretty tough because I think you main the damage boost generally, so it's it's kind of tough to adjust, and even if you do the other strat, the more conservative strat, mainly it can just be a tiny little mistake will put that key hunter on the left side and just kind of block you. So that is unfortunate. And then game 2 started off fairly wild. You both hit 47 series. It was just so. I mean, same door times essentially.
Yeah,
a
200
little
of
bit.
a second.
Yeah, there's
That's
some
awesome.
variance on like
4706 and 4708.
there was some variance in stair room, but other than that, yeah, it was so close and incredible to see 247s from both runners. I think that's probably the first time that's happened. And then after that, you both just played very, very well. A couple mistakes here and there, but it was never truly anyone's game. Unfortunately, there was some the pace kind of changed after Phantoon again, unfortunately. But I think SGLIVE got a fast, and you capitalized on that. And then Ruya, I think you had a mid fast, and then unfortunately a slow because that second fast wasn't too good for you. So
Yeah, I just I tried to do like an off screen on the second round left fast, and he stays off screen a little longer for that one, and I just went a bit early and didn't have time to get all the missiles in.
yeah, that's good that you didn't enrage as well. I was kind of concerned about that, but that is kind of unfortunate when you see one of the missiles hit the wall, and it's like, oh man, how many more do I need to get in? And but other than that, it it was a very close race. You both
Totally.
played incredibly well, and there was a lot of lead changing.
Yes.
Just back and forth from Ridley, and then all the way through to Varia, and then after Dragon, Zeni took kind of a bit of a lead, but it wasn't over. And then unfortunately, you just didn't get the supers that you needed in Tourian. So then that kind of put even more of a gap between you two, unfortunately. But yeah.
Yeah, I was actually looking at Zeni's stream. I checked around Varia and then again at G4, and I was kind of surprised he had gained so much time on me just because I felt my Meridia was pretty clean. Here it turns out I just wasn't aware that he had taken Ridley tank instead of Phantoon, so...
I learned that trick from Sloters.
Oh, shout outs to Sloters.
But yeah,
But,
I mean, yeah, it was kind of fortunate for you, because sometimes when you take the Ridley E tank, you can just get kind of screwed over from Phantoon, and then you either have to farm or you just end up getting the 4th E tank from Phantoon. So that is nice to see full HP and good super missiles leaving as well. So
Yeah, so the end of my Ridley fight went really weird. I would not have grabbed the tank had I not lost. I think I took 2 or 3 hits in the last 5 seconds. It was like really bad. So I ended up grabbing the tank, and as soon as I did that, I actually made kind of a conscious decision to do as much health conservation as I could so that I could skip the Phantoon tank.
yes.
So like I didn't go for the Key Hunter boost, like stuff like that, you know. And I mean, I'm glad I made that decision because it's what ended up kind of instilling me with confidence for the last 10-15 minutes of the run. And honestly, I mean, I think when you're running this game, confidence is a huge aspect to the mental side of things. Like if you're not confident in your strats, or you're not confident in your controller, or you're not confident in your practice or whatever, like it makes it way harder. So
yeah, that's good that you did conserve some health there, because like you said, that does give you the confidence. You know you're not going to die. In worst case scenario, you have to do a quick farm on the bugs. So
right.
It does make you feel a lot more comfortable. And as long as you do it right and you do conserve some HP, it's really not too much of a time loss. Obviously, it's not optimal, but yeah. And that shows with your time of 41:16, the fastest time in this tournament. So an excellent race time. You're not even that far off of your PB. So that was an incredible run from you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
GG,
I can't feel bitter about losing to that. It's an amazing run. Good job.
Thank you. And GG Ruya. Your performance in this tournament has been super cool to see. I think I already said this in one of the other races that you did. I think I was doing commentary, but it's been really cool to see you coming back and kind of grinding this and participating in the tournament. And we're happy to have you around. So thank you.
Yeah,
Absolutely a good game. And I just want to say thank you, Zeni, for just all around being a great guy and always giving me encouragement and support.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's very kind words.
And I think I heard, is the race over? It is indeed over.
Yeah. My daughter came in to talk to me, but yeah.
Yeah, excellent performance. And there's so many runners that have low 41s. Drewski just broke into the 40 barrier as well with an amazing 40-43. And I mean, both runners here, Zeni and Ruya, are just right there. I mean, they're essentially both on runs. They're on runs constantly that could be near world record or better. So they're incredible players, and it's definitely fun to watch the progression. So yeah, thank you both for participating. All right, Zeni, how do you feel about moving forward now into the finals here?
Well, I'm coming back out of the redemption bracket back into the top bracket to face my arch nemesis, Oats or Os
put it politely,
like whatever. Yeah.
Oats.
No, I mean I'm feeling good about it. You kind of dominated our race last time, so I'm hoping to, put on a better show this time, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Should be a good one. I think this setting is you have to reset with a best of 3 win, and then is it just single match, or is it then another best of 3?
It's just a single match if the bracket
If you
resets.
reset. Okay. So yeah. That's,
so basically, for me to win, I have to win 3 times in a row. I think.
Yes.
Is that the rule?
Well, you
three,
have to,
3 times overall.
Yeah,
you can win with 2. You can win with 2.
Yeah.
3 out of 4. I can
Yeah.
win with 2 out of 4. Yeah, or
So
2. Yeah.
definitely an uphill battle, but yeah, we'll find a time and we'll get it posted. So
Yeah. So definitely looking forward to that match. And Ruya, unfortunately for you, it's the end of the tournament, but you played incredibly well, and definitely excited to see you be another player to break into the sub 41. I feel like the game is progressing now, definitely past another barrier to where there's going to be a lot more runners just breaking into that time. And you've been playing insanely well. I do watch, frequently when I can. So yeah, definitely exciting to see.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Any final words from either Hockey or both our players?
just thank you to Speedgaming for hosting our tournament. And Oates, I will DM you and we'll find a time to wrap this up. So
Sounds good. All right, Hockey, I'll let you take it away.
All right, thanks so much. So Zeni, Ruya, GG's incredible performance here. SGLIVE 2024 Super Metroid Any Percent Tournament. And for everybody that makes these tournaments possible, for everybody at Speedgaming, we give you great thanks and appreciate all the hard work and dedication to this amazing speed game. And to everyone watching at home, we're wishing you a wonderful rest of your day and a better tomorrow.